Let me tell you a quick story. A while ago, a colleague sent me a spreadsheet full of bank transactions without categories. Classic analyst nightmare. So I did what every Excel user eventually does. I built a little system to categorize all of this automatically. A simple custom function called categorize. Here is what it looks like in action. I've got two tables, bank statements and keywords to categories map. I just click into category and type categorize. And just like that, every transaction is neatly labeled. So let's build it from scratch together. Our job is to help Excel answer one question: which keyword does the description contain? We can start by using the search function. It looks for one piece of text inside another piece of text. In our case, Excel checks every keyword from the keywords table against one bank statement description. And if your keyword list contains at least one of them, then search returns a number. By the way, those numbers are the position where the text starts. Also, keep in mind that the search function is not case sensitive. If you need case sensitivity, just use find function instead. So right now, search gives us a strange mix of numbers and errors. Useful somewhat, clean not at all. So we use ISNUMBER function. Its job is simple. If the result is a number, then true. If not a number, false. A clean logical test. Now things get interesting. The filter function returns only the rows that meet a condition. That's why we can tell Excel to take the category column and keep only rows where keyword match equals true. Utilities in this case. If the description contains multiple words, filter returns multiple values. This is called a spill result in modern Excel. Filter is incredibly useful because it removes the need for helper columns or manual filtering. But for categorization, maybe you only want one final label. That's where index function comes in. We can use it to get the first item from the list. Why the first item specifically? Because often your keyword table is already arranged in priority order. And what if you don't want just one category? What if one transaction belongs to multiple groups? Then TEXTJOIN combines all matches into one text string. This is excellent for audit work, tagging systems, and reviewing overlaps. So search find clues, ISNUMBER turns clues into yes-no signals, filter extracts matching categories, and index picks one winner. TEXTJOIN combines all the winners if needed. As you see, nothing extraordinary. Each function does one simple job. That's why modern Excel formulas are powerful, not because one function is magical, because multiple simple functions cooperate well. Now that the formula works, we can do something much smarter than copying that long formula across the sheet. We can turn it in our own Excel function. That's exactly what Lambda does. Instead of writing the same long recipe every time, you give the recipe a name. Then later you just call the name. So I'll type lambda, then define the three inputs: text, keywords, and categories. That means when someone uses the function later, they need to provide those. Text is the transaction description, keywords is the list of words to search for, and categories is a list connected to those keywords. Then we can define the function itself. So index filter ISNUMBER search. At first glance it may look intimidating, but it's simpler than it seems. Now go to the Formulas tab, click Name Manager and create new name. Categorize by keywords. Then paste the Lambda formula and press OK. That's it. You just created your own Excel function. So the users don't need to see the complexity anymore. They just use the final tool. Now inside the worksheet type categorize by keywords and then Excel treats it like any built-in function. But this one is special. It's yours. Without Lambda, you repeat long formulas everywhere, and if logic changes, you edit many cells in different spreadsheets. Mistakes happen. And once you save a lambda as a named function, you can copy it into another workbook, share it with your team, and later you can add case sensitivity, multiple matches, fallback logic, custom priorities, debugging helpers without touching any worksheets. Your function grows and your sheets stay clean. The download link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.